Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a new episode. I felt like doing this episode for anyone who is right now going through a hard period of time and doesn't know how to cope with the situation that is actually happening. Just yesterday I actually posted on my own YouTube channel that I was not feeling inspired to post anything from the previous content that I was already creating or in the process or scheduled to have. But after calming myself down, I felt that I have to come here to maybe share this message in the hope that it will help you as well to navigate a little bit easier this period and to give you a little bit of hope and maybe shift a little bit your perspective. As some of you know who are regular on my channel, I am currently living in Germany, but originally I'm from Romania. My whole family is there, and Romania is actually at the border with Ukraine. And this news of everything that has happened over the last week has literally shaken me in the first days, and it has literally shaken all the countries around the entire conflict. To put a little bit into perspective, why is this event maybe affecting some of us more than the others? If you are born in the Eastern Europe, you kind of empathize more with everything happening and you are probably more affected because history has left a very big imprint in our souls, in our generations, and especially on our grandparents and on our grandparents who have been through communism. I always heard stories that were filled with poverty, not having access to education, not having access to resources, famine, not having enough money, not having abundance. And this is what shaped us. So I'm just talking right now for us who have been born there. And I'm sure some of you will empathize in different ways with everything that is happening. And to be honest, from what I read online and from what I talked with my friends, and I noticed, with people living in the area, everyone was a lot more affected than the rest of the world. And I think that's absolutely normal to be affected by news that happen in your proximity. So of course, it's normal that maybe we react a little bit more than compared to other things happening in the world. That doesn't mean that we don't care or that we don't feel sad when we hear about something happening, but it's just how human beings are working. For the first 3 or 4 days, I think I consumed every single news that I could read. I was constantly non-stop reading and being connected to everything happening there in the middle of the conflict, and I started to grow such an anxiety as if I was there, but I was not. And in the last days, I decided also to cut a little bit my time invested to still stay connected, to still try to understand what is happening or like what are the events, but not like living every single moment that is happening there. It took me a while to understand it and to accept it, to not feel guilty that I'm not putting energy in there, that I'm not trying all the time to find solutions. But this is the right way to go, because the more we invest energy in reading, in being there, in empathizing and condemning, because that's actually the result that's happening, the more we condemn, the more divided we are and the more this conflict is going on. I don't think this is the moment to start looking for who's guilty and to start blaming, because this only puts energy in this evil and it only makes us stuck on this low vibration of blaming, of feeling guilty, of feeling frustrated and furious and powerless. But instead we can actually concentrate our energy to create this new world, to create a better world, to create a solution that can actually help. We can help as much as we have our possibilities around us, or donating or giving away the necessary things for those people in need, of course. We can also don't do any of this if we don't feel it, of course. But I think the best thing that we can do in the end, since we are not, I repeat, in the middle of everything, we are blessed with this, we can find our peace inside, and we can concentrate mentally to create, to transform this world into what we want. Those people that are there in the middle of the conflict, they cannot do that, of course. They are suffering non-stop, they are always living in fear. That's what they are living, but the rest of the world can do this, can concentrate consciously their thoughts into the direction of peace and solving this conflict as soon as possible. I think this is one of the biggest advantages that we live right now in this exact moment. We are the most connected that we have ever been in the history of humanity, or at least in the history that we know, you know. And I think this is from one side an advantage, and on the other side a disadvantage. It's a disadvantage the moment that collectively the whole population of the world consumes the same negative news 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 5 times a day, and we see the same videos of building being destructed or people being killed, and our energy and our anger and our frustration is increasing more and more and more. On the other hand, being so connected by technology and being so connected consciously, I think more than ever before are people now trying to find a mindfulness practice, are people praying and meditating and feeling that there is a little bit more to this life than just this physical world that we are living in. There is this collective energy, this universe, this divine, this God, however you want to call it, that is the source, there is love, there is a very high vibration. And when we connect to that collectively, then everything else stops. Everything else, all the darkness or the evil, all the bad things stop. But it's our job to stay in that vibration instead of going all the time in the lower one. And of course, the bad guys want us to stay there. That's why they always bombard us with a lot of news, with a lot of dramatic things that catch our attention. Our job right now is to teach us to refocus on the good things and to teach others as well in our proximity to do the same. I think this is the only solution. The solution that we see, you know, that is kind of like tried or promoted to fight to someone with even more fight, with even more hatred, is not the solution that we want. You will see a lot of people taking sides over the next days, and you have already started to see it, like with social media is happening like this. People will start to say it's the blame on this side, or other people will say no, the blame is on the other side. And that's not the right way to go, because that's dividing us even more, and it's fueling this hatred between one another. We will probably find out at some point whose fault was it, why this started. I'm sure the truth is always somewhere in between. It's never like this side is absolutely right and the other one it's not. But until then, I urge you to stay as neutral as possible to everything happening, to focus on yourself, to try to find your peace inside in whatever way you can, and to try to spread this peace around. Someone asked me in a previous video about the Ho'oponopono prayer, which is the one that I used mostly during the last days, and they asked me when I use it. I use it right now all the time, especially when I feel that my mind is going crazy about the whole situation, or I cannot control my feelings or my thoughts, and I just say it non-stop in the beginning robotically, but after a while I feel that my body starts to calm down, and of course my mind as well. So that's the moment when I feel that things are much peaceful in myself, to come with positive thoughts, to come with intentions, and to envision our future bright in cooperation, in peace and in love, and all of us striving and creating a new level of human beings. I want to leave you with one message in the end that I feel can give you a little bit of thinking. I'm 100% sure that each of us, and especially you guys that watch my videos, because we are a super high vibe community, each of us are in the right time and in the right place to help humanity with our gifts. If you're in the middle of the crisis, then you're there for a reason. You're there to help people around you to find peace, maybe. If you're outside of the crisis or near it and you feel safe right now, it's your job to focus your intentions more powerfully and to help people around you as well. Think about why you're there. Think about this just for one moment. Ask yourself this question: why are you here? What is my purpose supposed to do, and how am I supposed to help, and who am I supposed to be? And from there you can take the actions that you feel are more suitable and in alignment with all the answers that you have received. Thank you so much for being here, for being part of this amazing community. Never take for granted all the beautiful things that you have right now in your life, because we already saw how easy things can change and how you can go from all to zero. So be extra grateful today for everything that you have, for how your life is, with good and bad, and pray for a better tomorrow for all of us. See you in the next video.